on Yuba-Sutter.LIVE. 6 p.m. Yuba City Council regular meeting. Thursday, April 9, 2026. 3 p.m. the Union Pacific Big Boy Steam Locomotive stops in Marysville. April 10, 2026. 3:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. The astronauts prepare to splash down in the Pacific. We'll be popping up live to show you what happens. Like, follow, and subscribe so you'll know when we're live.
Watch on Yuba-Sutter.LIVE. Facebook.com/live streaming YS. YouTube.com/symbol Yuba-Sutter.LIVE.
Yuba-Sutter.LIVE.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Councilmember Shaw, for stepping in for Mr. Bryan. City Attorney's report on closed session items, please.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. There's no legal action taken in this session.
Thank you, Mr. City Attorney. Any agenda modifications? I have seen none. Public communication. You are welcome and encouraged to participate in this meeting. Public comment is taken on action items appearing on the consent calendar or business items on the agenda when they are called. Public comment on any other items within the scope of the city's jurisdiction, including items not listed on the agenda, will be considered at this time. Public comment is limited to 3 minutes per speaker. Members of the public submitting written requests at least 24 hours prior to the meeting will be allotted 5 minutes to comment per speaker. Repetitive comments may be limited. Large groups are encouraged to select representatives to express the opinions of the group. And we do have a couple of speaker cards. I'll call them up in order, and you have 3 minutes to speak. First is Mr. Maury Castaneda.
Mr. Mayor, sorry. In October, the city graciously provided us a donation with respect to us building new bleachers at Yuba City High School. I'm the Yuba City High School baseball coach. We had a fantastic run last year. You guys were gracious. They brought us in here, and the kids were great. Our bleachers are hurting. We started a fundraiser, asked the city to help us. City did. Through the approval process, through the district and code and zoning, that was a bridge too far and it was shut down. There's a lot of work. It's a big project. So the school is going to take on to it. I presented a couple different options of what we can do, and I'm here today to ask if we can reallocate the money that you gave us in October from the bleacher project to another project that we've already started. The project is a sanctuary we built out in center field. It's a batter's eye. 7 Italian cypresses have been planted already, purchased and put in the ground. They're being watered, and we want to have some monuments built out there commemorating the 7 championships that we've won at Yuba City High School, and with hopes of building more or planting more trees in the future. We'd like to take that money you guys gave us in October and just put that into finishing up the project.
Thank you, Coach. Mr. Chaffin, I'm trying to look for a little direction here on what we would need to do, if anything, to grant that request.
This is public comment. As the city council technically can't act in a specific time. However, there is an item on your agenda at the end of the meeting that allows us to put items on the agenda for the next meeting. If that is going to be too far in the future, I don't know what the timing is. But the first thing I said is you can discuss that there. If it's going to be too far in the future, it may be an option to just ratify a decision of the city council or ratify a decision of the city manager is maybe warranted.
That ratification could happen tonight then, or?
No, you can't ratify tonight.
Okay.
council would like to choose to basically ratify the other date.
Understood. Okay. Pleasure of the council.
So
Do you have
just
to-
to clear you can't catch.
I understand, but I'm just trying to get comment.
Yeah, no, I just have a question. I can ask a question, can I, for clarification from the speaker?
Yes.
Is 2 weeks too late?
No, sir. The check that has will expire on April 25th. So I don't
Thank you.
think 2 weeks is too late.
It is.
Is it?
You're the council.
Please.
It is 4 weeks too late.
Yes, he answered yes.
That's because the next meeting is canceled.
Yeah, and this isn't an item that has been brought forward yet, Shannon, but the 23rd meeting will be canceled. And his date on the check is the 25th.
If I could offer a suggestion,
Always.
and then the council not to take action at this time, but the city manager could act as may be appropriate, and he can bring forward something at the next meeting. And if you have concerns about that approach, please, reach out to the city manager after the meeting.
That'll be the path.
And
All right, thank you so much.
so, Shannon, if I may, I just want to clarify. So within my authority, can I just go ahead and make the decision based upon what I heard and council direction tonight to use my authority as city manager? And I'll just come back and have it ratified on May 5th? Is that so they can move forward with their project?
Yes, so to be clear, council's direction, that you're using your authority, you're going down the branches basically there and acting to transfer some money over with basically under your authority saying that it's consistent.
Yep.
But you need to go back and have it ratified by the city council at the next meeting. And I'm sure that if any individual council members have concerns before that, they certainly reach out to you individually and we'll discuss it among themselves.
Fair enough.
Thank you, Coach. Next up, I have Tony Farley. I don't see him in the room. Okay. Any other public comment? Yes, please. Okay. You don't have to turn a card in. You can just go to the podium. Just give us your name, please.
Good evening. My name is Pam Machado. I live in Yuba City. Do you need to know my address? Okay. Well, I'm here to talk about the dog park that's closing. And I don't know if you're familiar with the fact that it's closing, pretty much closed actually, but so I'm here to request that the city consider sponsoring a new dog park for the community. When I first got my dog from the shelter about a year ago, she was afraid of a lot of things, and taking her to the dog park has been really good for her, and she's almost a normal dog now. So a dog park is not only good for the dogs to enjoy, but also for the people of the city. It is an amenity that helps the city attract home buyers, tourists, and businesses that can actually increase the tax revenue. One idea to reduce the cost of creating a dog park could be to section off a portion of a park or property that is already being maintained by the city. And so those are just a few ideas that I had, and thank you for your consideration.
Thank you for your comment. Anybody else for public comment? Yeah, looks like you're ready.
My name's Elizabeth Robinson. I was here last year when we first were made aware that there was a potential closing of the dog park.
Can you pull the microphone down to, there we go. That's perfect.
But I would
Thank
give
you.
her 4 more inches. Yes, I was here last, and I don't remember quite what the month was, but we had just been informed the board of, I'm talking about the off-leash dog park in Yuba City and near Shanghai Bend Park. And the board of the dog park had just been informed through Caltrans that it was going to have to be sold at some point. And I taught for 34 years, and I have been retired for 5. But while I was still teaching, we came in the afternoon, and now I've really enjoyed coming in the morning. Now I understand. Well, I should admit that I haven't kept up with all the finances of the city. I do remember that there was a short discussion, and that the city doesn't have really any funds to help, and so. At the time I didn't know this, and if I had, I would have asked about this. But afterwards, I learned that the city of Live Oak has a small dog park. The one that has been here was like 5 acres, but we don't need one that large. The city in Live Oak, it's smaller, like I said, and I've been there once, and that seems great. I am not aware of how Live Oak was able to create that park. It's right next to the soccer field, so maybe the sports community there helped. I don't know, but I did. My question was, and would have been last year if I had known, how the city of Live Oak was able to create a dog park, and how, and then why it's been harder for Yuba City to maintain the park. So anyway, I appreciate the time to listen, or to explain this, and thank you very much.
Thank you for your comment. Unfortunately, we're not in we are prohibited from engaging in answering questions during public comment. I can share with you that the city remains engaged with trying to figure out options to figure out whether a public or private park for the dogs is viable. We don't have an answer for you tonight, but it is something that is of interest, and we will continue to work with whomever we can, if we can, to do something about it. Thanks. Anybody else for public comment? Seeing none, go ahead and move to the consent calendar. All matters listed under the consent calendar are considered to be routine and can be enacted in one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items prior to the time that the council votes on the motion, unless members of the city council request specific items to be discussed or removed from the consent calendar for individual action. I do have one written request, but before I do that, anything from the council on the consent calendar? Okay, seeing none, I do have a written request from Mr. Ben Deal for item 4.
Thanks. Good evening, Council.
Good evening.
Appreciate the time. I'm a member of Yuba Area Bike Advocates. There's a handful of us here today. Maybe raise your hands, guys and gals. So we're a group that tries to improve infrastructure in the city for safe and efficient bicycling. So just want to give you a lay down. So I have 3 items I'm just going to cover real fast. The ATP, obviously, we're excited. We're glad you guys went out for that. I want to thank Jasmine and Josh for reaching out to us and getting our comments on it and kind of improvements on it, as well as Fair and Pierce, Dave Moore. I appreciate his help. They worked over Christmas. They met with us, so really appreciate that. The other one is the macro item of basically the city, to get around the city. They did a great job of making kind of a grid system, so north-south, east-west routes on kind of the edges of the city so that we can get up and down the city. So really appreciate that and appreciate the time that you put for that. On the micro level, the plan has a handful of projects, but really there's a lot of low-cost projects in there. You know, it's just extra striping when you do a street, extra bot dots when you do a street. So I really want the council to consider that when you go to do a street. Make these small improvements that are in the plan. We really appreciate it if you do. We rode over here, a few of us rode over today. There's obviously room for improvement, but really like the way you guys are looking into it, and appreciate you hopefully adopt the ATP plan. So thank you.
Thank you. I will mention that May is Bike Month coming up. This was a topic at last week's SACOG committee. A lot of discussion about regional trails and bike accessibility and safety as well. So it's good to hear that you are concerned and helping with the process. I think that as a bike rider, not as active as probably any of you are, but still nonetheless, you know, a safe bike lane is something that's important to us. So I appreciate the comments. Anything else from the public? Or, excuse me, on the consent calendar, no other comments. I'll entertain action.
Through the mayor,
Yes.
move to take action on item consent, item 2 through 12.
Second.
Have a motion by Vice Mayor Pasquale, a second by Councilmember Shaw on the consent calendar. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Hearing none, the consent calendar is unanimously approved. And we will move to our business items. There's a lot of consent items here. And the next item is number 12, Downtown Yuba City Business Improvement District, levy of the 2026 annual assessment. This is presented by our city manager, Mr. Robert Bendorf.
It's always refreshing when you hear your name mentioned and everybody leaves.
No comment.
Yeah, thanks. I think that was a one-way communication. I didn't really look for feedback. So Robert Bendorf, city manager, at your last city council meeting in March, your board received the report of the assessments that are applied to the DBA members. And your board received the report and took the appropriate action. And now we are before you to set, and we set a hearing date for tonight. And so the staff recommendations are that you, there we go. Sorry. Anyway, that you have a public hearing this evening about the assessments applied to the DBA, and of course recommend that you approve the action as contained in the staff report. And you can take one of the following actions as you see here. I won't read them all, but obviously our recommendation is to conduct a public hearing with the understanding that public hearing must be complete within 30 days, but adopt a resolution confirming the annual report as originally filed or as amended. The adoption of the resolution constitutes a levy of the assessment for calendar year 2026. So as you see there, there's the formal recommendation or the shortened recommendation. And I will stop talking.
All right, any questions for Mr. Bendorf?
Mayor,
Yes.
I just wanted to confirm that we have not received a 50% or more of objections to the levy by the city clerk.
No objections.
Thank you.
Thank you. The public hearing for the Downtown Yuba City Business Improvement District levy of the 2026 annual assessment is now open. If there are any members of the public who would like to address the council on this issue, please provide your statement from the podium. State your name and address for the record. Nobody? Okay. Do we have any additional comments from the public on this item? Seeing none. Hearing no further comment on the issue, I'm closing the public hearing, bringing the matter back to the council.
Through the mayor, I'd like to make a motion to adopt a resolution confirming the annual report of the Yuba City Downtown Business Association and levying the assessment for the Downtown Business Improvement District for calendar year 2026.
Second.
I have a motion by Councilmember Kirchner, second by Councilmember Cole. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Hearing none, item 13 is unanimously approved. Item 14, future agenda items. Anybody? Seeing none. All right, reports and communications. We're back to Mr. Bendorf.
Thank you, Mayor, council members. So one of the things that I wanted to talk about was future agenda items. May the 5th, is our first meeting in May, I believe. And just prior to that, on April 21st, we have another meeting scheduled. So due to a couple of council members being away, and we talked with department heads about items that may be coming forward, there was no issue with moving them to the 5th to make sure we have, you know, majority. Well, we would have a majority, but more of a majority at the council meeting. So my recommendation, Mr. Mayor, is that we cancel the meeting of the 21st of April and 23rd. What? It's 21. Okay. All right. Just make sure. So that we cancel the meeting of April 21st and we continue it to May the 5th. Did I get that right? 21st, right? I'm just kidding. Anyway, that's that item. All right. So I will tell you that you probably see a few changes here in the chambers, really for access for folks to look at the agenda items as they appear, the presentations. We had that monitor over there, which was a little bit smaller. This one's a little bit bigger, so folks can see it just fine. And then we put one right behind Councilmember Cole here. For those people on this side, where they don't have to crank over and look at every presentation that's up there, visuals, et cetera. They can actually see it better here for those people sitting on this side of the audience. Again, with recent bills that were passed regarding accessibility, we just want to make sure we have all those grounds covered. Sierra's been at the tip of the spear for that. This doesn't necessarily fall under that, but this is one of those changes that we wanted to see made so people have better access and viewing of our items. Also, you'll see some changes with our visioning that we did for the strategic plan. You'll see something across that border in the back, and you'll see something on the windows coming up here pretty soon that outlines the city's vision. So we can, you know, see it often, live it, the whole 9 yards, and others can as well. So I wanted to talk to you briefly about something we have with our leadership team here. Over the last couple months, they've been participating in a leadership series that's scheduled to go about 5 months. And we do one series a month. So that training is keeping our folks here. They're not traveling to training, but the training is being done here. And this is kind of unique. Not only do we have a variety of topics that are covered in that full day, but we also, that relate to things such as leadership, teamwork, those types of things. But we really wanted this leadership series to be community connected. That's what we're all about, right? We provide, I think, critical services to folks. Hopefully they're good. And if they're not, we want to hear about it. So we've instituted some panels. And the mayor and vice mayor have had an opportunity. And we're going to ask each of the council members to attend one of them. Kind of open it up for us in the morning. Talk to our leadership team. Hang around for a little bit if you like. But those will be coming up again in May, June, and July. And I have to remark that the leadership team has been super engaged in not only picking topics, but also delivering outcomes as a result of those leadership series. So the first one that we had was, we had 3 residents on a panel that live here in Yuba City, but they also work as well. Some here, some across the river, but they're residents here. So we wanted to get that good resident feel and some input about what we're doing well, maybe what we're not doing well, and it was really good feedback. And then they share lunch with our team here, so there's more discussion to be had. So this last week, we not only had a presentation from a lobbyist, but we also had a panel that was focused on nonprofits in the community. So we had the Alec Flores Youth Scholarship Corporation, we had the Food Bank, and we had SALEV. And all of those executive directors or leaders of those nonprofits shared a lot of information of how we as an organization can help those nonprofits in the community and give back, but also how we can help through things such as donations from others in the community, our employees, et cetera, but really to find out what their needs are and what they're seeing as far as what the city could do better or what we are doing well. So they've gone really, really good, but they wouldn't go as well without the team sort of helping pick the topics, and this is what they want to hear. It's actually going really well. So I really want to thank all of them, but I also want to thank the council members for your attendance so far and your anticipated future attendance to come talk to the folks. But anyway, it's just really been for me a highlight seeing them engage with the different community members about how we're doing here at the city and moving forward what we can do to make it even better. So the last thing is I wanted to share with you, I think Marysville has taken a item to their city council with regard to the 4th of July show. I mentioned it, I think, at a previous council meeting, just a little bit more detail. So what the plans are right now, and hopefully they'll go well, isn't solidified. It's getting close, but we've had the fireworks show down the Marysville River Bottoms for the last, I don't know, Mr. Mayor, you've been a part of that since the beginning, 5 years, maybe 6, 7. Okay. And so this is the 250th celebration for our country. And we thought doing something a little bit different to help provide something for our families to do here locally. But instead of a one-day, just a fireworks event, a 2-day event that kicks off on Friday, and it looks like the fireworks will happen on Friday, which is the 3rd of July. And then the 4th of July, the second part of the event or party, if you will be over here in Yuba City. And as it's laid out right now, it would be held at the Yuba-Sutter Fairgrounds, and we'll have a variety of things for families to do. They would arrive sometime late afternoon, early evening, and there'll be entertainment for folks there, kids, non-alcohol event. And we're hoping that it really does well for our residents in the Yuba-Sutter area to attend something here and enjoy a great, not only day with a car show and other activities at the fairgrounds, but also a drone show that'll be held on the 4th of July. They had to move the fireworks to the 3rd because of the availability of the operator. As you can imagine, with the 250th celebration, they're being tapped quite frequently to perform in a lot of different areas. So we're doing that on the 3rd, drone show on the 4th. It's the tentative plan for right now. So I've got a contract for the drone associations that will be held over here. Marysville's doing the contract for the fireworks show, and each jurisdiction, all 4 cities and 2 counties will be participating. And also we'll have participation from Beale Air Force Base. We'll do something remarkable to recognize our veterans and our current service members that attend the event as well. So having said that, it's just something to come, something to keep radar on. I've got the contract. It's within my authority. Unless I'm hearing any objections, I'll move forward with that. But like I said, all the agencies, like years before, it'll be a little bit more because we're doing a 2-day event, but everybody will contribute their fair share to the events that are going to be had. And I think it'll be a great thing for Yuba-Sutter, and all the jurisdictions are cooperating and putting together something good for the 4th of July weekend. That's all I had, Mr. Mayor.
Appreciate the comments. Appreciate the leadership training and transparency and communication going on with the public as well. And looking forward to the 250 year and 4th of July, which will still include the children's parade, by the way.
Yes, in the morning, yeah.
Yes, okay. Thank you. City Council reports. We'll start with Councilmember Cole.
Okay, thank you. So March 19th was a busy day. I attended SACOG's meeting with Mark, and I'll let all of you probably expand on these and just keep it short. But that was nice to tour WESAC and learn a lot about the unique and innovative ways they are expanding and building their infrastructure to accommodate more entertainment is what I took away. So that was a good day. That afternoon attended Yuba-Sutter Transit with Wade. The Blue Zones meeting was pushed to April. We all attended the March 21st Buckeye festivities, as well as the ambassador dinner the night before, which was wonderful. And the other thing, which was the most recent, on Thursday, Councilmember Pasquale and I had a meeting with Robert Bendorf and the leadership of Buddy's Ranch. And that meeting went actually really productively. It was enlightening, and we learned quite a bit about how to come up with hopefully the best solutions for the most amount of people in terms of the impact constituents are perceiving that those homes have on their area. But we did learn that this group is, through private insurance, is responsible for seeing the person in rehab all the way through, from beginning all the way to end. So it was nice to hear that these people are very well taken care of from beginning to end. And if they either graduate from the program or fail out, they are followed. And if they fail out, they are not put into our society and our community. So there's still a lot to learn, and we're looking forward to data being collected by them and distributed to us so that we in the city of Yuba City better know what's going on in those facilities. But overall, a good meeting, and that's all I have to report.
Thanks. All right, next on my list is Councilmember Kirchner.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. No reportable action. The food bank meeting with Yuba-Sutter Transit. The action items were authorization, federal transit grants, preliminary draft for the capital budget for 2027, and also looking at a new service for Lincoln, Roseville. They're going to roll out a 3-year pilot program for that area since it is growing. Attended the 5th annual Kane Avenue Temple festivities with my local council people. It was really well attended. We got recognized along with members of the county. And it was the event went really well the following day. Lastly, I was asked to attend a planning meeting with the superintendent of Yuba City Unified School District, the principal of Yuba City High School, and also the choir director. Next month is the 50th anniversary of the Yuba City choir bus crash that happened in Martinez, where 28 young people lost their lives and 1 adult as well. What came out of that meeting was that Martinez has been looking into this for like the last year. They plan on doing a commemoration on the 21st at 11 a.m. at their monument in Martinez. And then Yuba City High School that same day will have a moment of silence at 11 o'clock sharp. The 23rd, which is 2 days after that, would be a Saturday. There is going to be a event planned for right out here. If you don't know, there's a monument dedicated to those young individuals that perished in that accident. And the Yuba City High School choir will be attending that as well. And so that'll be at 11 a.m. on May 23rd. What also came out of that meeting, and I'm asking for clarification on this, was at some point, and I haven't heard anything, but at some point Martinez is or will reach out to local community members to attend their event in Martinez. And I will, if I hear anything, I'll pass that on to my colleagues at the city. And with that, I conclude my report.
Thank you. Councilmember Shaw.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Not much to report out of me other than, does anybody realize it's tax season? Got like 10 days left. So anyway, thank you to my colleagues for covering a lot of meetings, because it's been a godsend. I've been really buried this time of year. I do want to put something squarely on the radar for my fellow council members. In the coming month or two, we will be bringing forward an extension contract from the RWMA for Recology. And looking at that, we had a very interesting meeting at RWMA. I'll leave it at the fact that we've got a few junior members on there that have no knowledge of actually what RWMA does, nor do they understand what Recology does and everything in this area. So it got tabled for the moment. But on the 16th, we'll be bringing that back forward. And then after the 16th of April, it will be coming out to jurisdictions, because what is very, very clear is even though we formed a JPA, that contract The power and the extensions is still at the jurisdiction level, so that will be coming before you without retrospect of what the RWMA does. It'd be nice if we can get a contract over here that is endorsed or supported by the board, but either way, it's coming. So I just want to put that on your radar. We'd love to get that taken care of, hopefully May, June timeframe. That way it doesn't linger on, because those of us on, I know, this end of the dais that were around when this nonsense went on a few years ago, we don't want to put the community back through this. So hopefully we can get it done in the next few weeks. Again, thank you guys for covering, and I'll see you guys in about 10 days.
Thank you, Councilmember. Vice Mayor Pasquale.
Thank you, Mayor. Let's see, I've had a pretty busy couple of weeks. Attended my Air Quality Board Committee meeting yesterday, and they're in negotiations with their labor groups. And I was disturbed a little because the organization was doing the negotiating, kind of left us hanging. So it's been postponed for a special meeting. It was kind of discerning to me. They left some holes. Attended the DBA a week or so ago. They're churning along just fine. I do believe they are going to have some changes in leadership or positions. Not real clear on who's going to be taking over. Went to the leaderships, as the city manager said, and very informative. Glad I could participate. I hope I didn't make anybody feel uncomfortable, because I get emotional sometimes. I don't know what that is. I think it's after my heart surgery, they tenderized my heart a little bit. But no, good group of people and a lot of good things going on in our city. Glad to see that. What else? Went to the senior commission meeting first time and was very, very pleased to see that. Very engaged group of people, a lot of good conversation, and just keep that senior commission going. The one thing that I did stress is that we are a regional, people from all over, just not Yuba City, come to our senior center. And I think that's lost on a lot of people in our community. It is a regional facility that people from all over 2 or 3 counties come to. And maybe we need to squeeze a little bit of juice out of some of those other communities. I did attend the Buddy Ranch meeting. I had an expectation. I didn't know what to expect because I didn't really know, and they clarified a lot for me. Councilmember Cole and I had some pretty tough questions for them, and we put them in the hot seat because we are concerned that you're just going to putting things in the community that people really didn't know about. And I was relieved to hear of their model and who they serve, and it was way different than what I thought was going to be going on. So that was very informative. I went to the Murder Mystery Theater on a Friday night. They had a Western murder mystery thing at the Arts Council. If you ever get an opportunity, go to one of their functions. They're very, very fun, very well attended. They had it 2 nights, and it was sold out both nights. Did a CTE mock interviews for the high school last Monday. I had 8 students. Most of them were female, unfortunately. I mean, not unfortunately, but there weren't that many male participants, which I was shocked at, that they didn't want to learn how to interview. Some real superstars, a lot of good feedback to those young people, and the high school was more than happy that actually, my niece showed up. My niece was one of the interviewers. She works for Sutter County Superintendent of Schools. And when she walked in, and the teacher goes, "You know her?" And I go, "Yeah, since she was a baby." So that went really well. I really liked interacting, and I did total debriefs with each one of those students afterwards, and which I guess a lot of people don't do. So they got direct feedback from me. On a sadder note, We lost one of our centurions, Mrs. Dorothy Barcavoli. They've been a family in this community for generations. They had 8 children that I probably went to school with half of them. The other half were older than I was. But a nice lady, and if the mayor could close in her memory, I would appreciate that. And with that, I close my report.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Mayor. Got a bit of a list. I think there's a lot going on, and I know that those who have sat in this seat before can sympathize with the fact that when you have the title of mayor, there's a lot that comes at you, a lot different than just regular council stuff. But you guys have been busy, and in your own reports, so I think that's great. Had the opportunity to go out to Beale and serve 1,000 airmen with local groups. It's just another opportunity to outreach to the base and show the connection between Yuba City and support Beale Air Force Base, especially given the fact that at this particular point in time, you can only imagine the burden that's on them, especially when it comes to intelligence gathering and reconnaissance, et cetera. They're very heavily involved. SACOG, every 2 weeks there's meetings down there, and this, for Mr. Wolf, it's the funding round. Where are you? There you go. And so we need to be at the table. I know you are. I continue to hear good things down there. I have shared a couple things, and we'll share a couple more. But there's some good transportation things going on out there, and I hope we can continue to be as successful as we have in the past. The Buckeye has been mentioned. Definitely Marysville knows how to do parades, and kudos to them. And events surrounding the parade. I had the opportunity with the vice mayor to christen the Sutter County Superintendent of Schools building right over here. Super building, great asset to the community. If you take a look around, there's a lot of stuff coming up out of the ground in Yuba City right now. Sometimes we don't necessarily celebrate all that stuff. We're going to try to do a little bit more of that. Even though it's not our project, it's certainly an asset to the community, and their commitment to educating folks, adults and young folks, is admirable. I went to the Government Affairs Committee. The city manager and the vice mayor were with me. It's always interesting. They had a discussion about town hall for our mobile vendor. I think we were able to hopefully educate them a little bit about all the things that have already been in play. And I commend the police department, our code enforcement folks for the efforts they're putting forward, and of course our partners at Sutter County. I don't know if they're going to have a town hall. I guess this was a request by a business in Marysville, because apparently they must have the issue as well. And my recommendation to them is borrow our ordinance as we develop it. The Hain Avenue Temple, and I know Councilmember Kirchner was a key person in helping to coordinate our attendance there. We got to sit alongside our county counterparts, as well as Congressman Mike Thompson, and the folks over at that temple, very generous, very gracious to all of us. I want to forecast to the council that sometime in May, we are going to move forward with being designated as Purple Heart City. There are some things that need to get in play for that, but I'll let you know well in advance. Hopefully you can and put that in your calendars. I do also want to mention, and I should have mentioned this earlier, when we talk about Yuba-Sutter Transit, those of you who had the opportunity to sit on transit, when you're sitting at SACOG and you're listening to SAC Regional Transit, it's not to throw any shade at anybody, but they're running at a deficit. YOLO Transit running at a deficit. Our Yuba-Sutter Transit is not running at a deficit. There's a lot of factors involved with all that, but I think we should be relatively proud of the fact that our local transit authority and those who help shape it, I think, are doing a great job. The issue of our water rates is out there right now. Obviously, it hit the mailboxes. I really strongly encourage people to take a look at the QR code on the front of that brochure as it comes out. It does a very good job of explaining why the need is there, but it also shows a comparison of water rates and sewer rates that I think isn't being necessarily shared on social media. I'm hopeful perhaps we could do a job on that, because what's coming out is, we're charging this, we're charging that. When you look at the rates that are being proposed through this 218 process, I think they're quite reasonable given all the demands on our water and sewer system. So look at that QR code. This is mostly to the public. Click on that. If you don't have the ability to do that, reach out to City Hall. I'm sure they can help you find those links. Continue to kind of plod along with the Sikh Festival preparation. Again, commending our police department. They're sort of the tip of the spear right now. Again, it's a festival, not a parade. And so our efforts to try to make sure that we can produce a safe but very vibrant event within our city limits, those are top of mind. Some of the effects of our budget trimming are starting to be known, at least they are to me, because I'm getting the emails. And so I encourage us to be as outgoing as possible. Rates, program cuts, et cetera, made necessary by the fact that revenues aren't necessarily matching our ability to provide services that we have traditionally done. But I also know that I have spent a lot of time with our finance director, our city manager, the vice mayor, and all of our department heads in regards to the budget development, which should be coming our way in the not too distant future. I very much commend those who are involved with this to take a very proactive and reasonable look at the budget amendments and changes and abilities to provide services that we're trying to do here in the city. Final thing I would like to do in conjunction with Ms. Buttaca-Foley's passing, this morning, we lost Chief William Burke, Yuba City Fire Department Chief from 1968 to 1980. He was 102 years old, and most of us had came across him at different city events, extremely vibrant at that age, very engaged, and a loss to our city as well. So this meeting is going to be closed in memory of Ms. Buttaca-Foley and Chief Burke. And with that, meeting is closed.
Recording stopped.
This week on Yuba-Sutter.LIVE, Thursday, April 9, 2026, 3 p.m. the Union Pacific Big Boy Steam Locomotive stops in Marysville. April 10, 2026, 3:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. The astronauts prepare to splash down in the Pacific. We'll be popping up live to show you what happens. Like, follow, and subscribe so you'll know when we're live.
Watch on Yuba-Sutter.LIVE. Facebook.com/live streaming YS. YouTube.com/at symbol Yuba-Sutter.LIVE.
Yuba-Sutter.LIVE.
Yuba-Sutter.LIVE. It's the truth that comes through.